What's up, mortgage coach community? Dave Savage coming live out of Portland, Oregon, and I am interviewing Tammie Crainich out of Connecticut. What's up, Tammie?
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm
Is this
great.
is this? Well, I know I've had you on the Mortgage Coach channel multiple times now, but this is our second one-on-one interview. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. This is a second. I'm part of the TCA Day challenge that you have going on there. So this is the second one we're doing.
Right on. Well, I first of all really appreciate you and your leadership. You've come on, you're adding a lot of value to that CMA a day challenge, which, by the way, guys, every Tuesday at 11 o'clock Pacific. For the month of August, we said we were going to do this TCA day / CMA a day challenge, but we are extending it through the month of September. Jeremy Forcier has been the head coach 3 out of the 4 weeks, and I think we're going to keep him for a few more weeks as long as he's willing to keep doing it. I think Jeremy's head is still in the game, and as long as he's willing to be the head coach, I'm going to keep him in there. How do you feel about how that's going for you?
I love it. I actually, it's funny because I'm already in a coaching program, and the numbers that they are looking at are a little bit more intense than the numbers that even my coach that I pay money for is looking at. So it really keeps me on point.
Why don't you drill
I love
down
it.
on that? Drill down on that a little bit. Like, what are well, I know the numbers that Jeremy is focusing on, but what do you think is more intense about it? And is it helping you?
It is helping. So I know one of the things that they're obviously keeping track of is how many TCAs are you doing a week, which I never actually kept track of that. I'm keeping track of them because of the TCA a day challenge, but I was keeping track of them differently. I was keeping track of the ones that I was doing unsolicited. So now I'm keeping track of all of the ones that I'm doing. And I was surprised because I, in my mind, I'm doing a TCA for everybody. Nobody gets past me. But when I was starting to calculate the numbers, I noticed, oh, wow, that one didn't get a TCA. That one didn't get, and then I'm like, why didn't they get a TCA? So it really forced me to drill back and see why aren't these people getting TCAs and so it's been great in forcing me to kind of relook at that because I thought everybody was getting one. You talk to loan officers, we have 100% conversion.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then when you really look at the conversion, I know Jeremy with his loan officers has been tracking credit pulls to open loan and process. Have you been tracking that metric?
Yeah, see, that's another thing that I never really tracked before. I track the amount of leads that I get. I track how many talk tos I have, and then how many turn into loans. And I mean, I probably should do the credit pulls, but not like I should, like I'm supposed to. So that has really credit pulls, and then how many convert to a pre-approval, meaning we have docs. And then, they're all really good numbers to drill down. And I've just never really, I'm just trying to do the basics. So when you really look at them like that, you're like, wait a minute, how do I have 40 leads, but I've only pulled credit on 16 people? Like, where are the rest of these people? And then of those 16 people, how do I only have docs on 10 of them? So I've noticed that kind of trend happening. So it's just going to make me a better loan officer when you know your metrics.
Absolutely. And whatever you measure, you can manage, and what you manage, you can improve. What about the number of price exceptions and the cost of price exceptions? I was pretty blown away at Jeremy's metrics, how everyone that was participating in his group in the TCA Day Challenge, they improved their credit pull to app rate pretty significantly, like up to 45%. It was like 27 to 45%. And then I was blown away that literally the price exceptions had gone down, or the cost of price concessions had gone down 70%. Have you seen that with yourself? I mean, what does that look like?
I wasn't actually measuring that, but it is interesting because, again, I think I'm using Mortgage Coach. Why wouldn't you want to stick with me? And I'm purposely not, because it's always in the back of my mind. I know what the number is that I can go in and ask for a price exception, but I really don't want to do that. And I've already been of the mindset where I don't really like to go in and ask for a price exception unless I like to save those price exceptions for like the loans that I really need them on. But like some of the refis, the smaller loans, I had a woman the other day tell me that brand X was able to offer her an eighth better of an interest rate. And when we were talking about sharing TCAs, I probably could have shared this one with you, but I was able to, she's already in a 10-year loan and the rate is probably a little bit higher. And I was able to show her if she plans on buying another house. So once I got the story, I was able to prepare the TCA to match the story, which now I know what TCA I'm going to post tomorrow for anyway, side note. So I was able to use the TCA to tell a story. And then when she was comparing me to brand X, she was like, this is amazing. I never even thought of this as a strategy. Now I can buy the bigger home that I want. I can pay this down if I want to, but I'm not obligated to the higher payment like I am if I do it like this. So I was able to make this, once you understand the story and you tell their story back to them using the TCA, it's a no-brainer. But going back to what you were talking about pricing exceptions, I find that when I have the story match the TCA, I don't get as many price exceptions.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a mic drop moment, and literally, I think maybe even a highlight that will take some micro content from this, because you, just the way you said it, when you can actually help a family take their story, which, what is their story? It's their hopes, their dreams, and their goals.
Yep.
It's not just a mortgage transaction. And the other loan officer you were competing with, he or she was quoting a rate, 1/8% better to
Yep.
help execute a transaction. But you got the whole story, and then it opened the client's mind. Sounds like they're going to probably be doing a different loan. Sounds like it might be a bigger loan. And there's just a radical difference in the value that you're creating as a mortgage coach versus the loan officer. So that is powerful. And that really is why we're doing that TCA Day challenge, because not only are a lot of loan officers not doing a TCA for every client, but there's also a lot of TCAs that aren't even transactional motivated. It might be an annual review. It might be, hey, a TBD that you haven't talked to for a month or two, but let's re-engage them. You know, there's a lot of proactive total cost analysis that can be done that generate loans. So let's do this. I want to center this conversation around the leadership you bring into realtors, and how you're not only doing the TCA a day, but you're also doing the CMA a day challenge for agents. Talk about that. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And let's break that down, because I think there's a lot of value that our community could get from you.
So when Todd first announced it to you, I was listening to that call and I was like, wow, that is a great idea. The TCA a day. I love the way that sounds. I think a week later, you were interviewing Jeremy, and I was listening to that call live actually, and thought, well, I don't have a team. How am I going to really blow this up? And really, like, how can I use this to my advantage? So I decided to do the CMA a day challenge and invite my realtors. Jimmy Burgess. So first I thought to myself, all right, who's the agent that did this? Because I know Todd was talking about it. He didn't really know who it was. And so I just Googled it, and I Googled $11 million CMA a day and tried to see what I can find. And there I found him, and I called him up, and he's a real person. And so it kind of escalated from there. I just wanted it to be like my small real estate group. I decided to do it on Facebook Live at 6 o'clock every Monday at 6 p.m. And Jimmy did it for 13 weeks. So I was going to do it for 13 weeks starting August 2nd. So from there, I got him. He agreed. He committed to a time. And then I thought I would just kind of do a mastermind. But then you guys had interviewed Cody Gibson. And I was like, wait, I wonder if Cody would let me interview him. So I reached out to Cody. And then now Cody's going to actually wrap it up at the end. He's going to do a wrap up, our last class in October. And then I was like, well, now I belong to a coaching company that has a lot of top producing like mega agents in it. So I reached out to some of them and I asked them if they would be keynote speakers. I've pretty much filled up all 13 weeks with a speaker to talk about how they're getting listings and what they're doing. And the agents, some of them have really blown my mind with their stories. So that's basically how it started.
So, so wait, I want to make sure we connected the dots here. So she isn't a manager, like you're not a branch manager.
Nope, not a branch manager.
You're a team leader. You have a
Yep.
team, right?
I have a
How
team
much,
lead, yes.
how much production do you do? How many loans do you close on?
So right now we're averaging about 12 to 15 a month. I am on target to do 50 million for the year. And my goal is 200 loans. I'm like right where I could or couldn't make it. So I think I can make the 50 million, but I really want to do 200 loans
Okay, so
in units.
on track for,
Mhm.
you know, you might end up in the 190s, you might end up a little over
Yeah,
200.
I'm not going to be disappointed if I end up at 190, but I really want the 200.
Okay, so we're playing the game in 2021 for Tammie Crainich is 200 loans, and you didn't have loan officers to manage, although you are participating in the challenge at Mortgage Coach, and you're coming to our Tuesday accountability call, which, by the way,
Yes.
guys, if you want to be part of this challenge, it's amazing. Even if you're not on Zoom and going through the challenge like Tammie and about a dozen or about 6 others,
Mhm.
just watching that is some of the best content that Mortgage Coach has ever created. So check out that in our YouTube channel. But you said, you know what? I'm going to go and take this to realtors, and I'm going to do the CMA a day. And now you've built this community of agents. How many agents are in the community that are coming to your events and the training that you're doing?
So there are about 145 agents.
What?
I
thought you were going to, I knew it was a lot. I thought it was like 50. So you've got 150 realtors.
140 agents.
140.
I reached out to like it just kind of spiraled because I belong to a couple of real estate groups. So some of the administrators for those real estate groups allowed me to post it in their group. And they were also wanting to do something with listings. Inventory is starting to be really low and listings are really hard to come by. So I've noticed in a couple of these real estate groups that they were talking about trying to get a listing a day. They've all everybody's got a little bit of a different on it. So I asked the administrators of those 2 different groups if I could invite people to mine. So I just did one post in each group, and now it's gone to like 150. Yeah, I think I'm at 147. Last time I looked, maybe it was 151. I have to look today because I'm doing a live
so that's
class
how many
tonight.
are in your Facebook group.
That's in the group, right?
And what did you start with? Did you have a realtor Facebook group 2 months ago? Or is
No,
this
I
a brand
started
new
from
group?
scratch. I did not have a realtor Facebook group. I started from scratch. I just invited my agents. I promoted it every Monday when I call my agents. I promoted it on Facebook, promoted it in a few other real estate groups. I have to say these keynote speakers that I've invited to speak have really helped because they've pushed it out to their groups. I ordered 50 TCA posters and I went through all 50. All 50 of them have been mailed out and dispersed to all the different real estate companies. So I have to say, on any given Monday, we probably have about 12 people watching live. I get about 100 views afterwards. A lot of people are watching after. And the feedback has been incredible. I think after this, I'm going to have to get licensed in more states because some of the people are all over the country, which is so exciting.
So let's break this down, guys. So she got 50 of these. You can go to winbynoon/TCA. And one side of it is the TCA day challenge for loan officers. And the other side is the CMA a day. So I think these are like $4 or $5 a piece.
Yep, like $5.
Go buy a bunch. I think they're $4 if you buy a lot of them. Jeremy Forcier bought 150 of them. You bought 50 of them. Thank you for that 50. On behalf of Win by Noon. And by the way, guys, there's a free version of that, a PDF in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. So if you're watching this in Facebook, go to the files section and you can download a PDF. Although let's face it, when you are able to talk to a realtor, whether it's in person or you mail it to them and they're getting this wall poster,
yeah,
there's value in that. So you're doing these, you've got speakers every week. Your speakers are realtors. Yes. You're getting about 12 people watching it live. You're getting about 100 watching the recording. Yep. It's all sounds like, are you doing it on Zoom? And then like I'm doing right now, you're pushing that into Facebook. What are you doing with the recording? Are you putting it on YouTube? Are you
You
doing
know,
anything?
I actually, it's probably a question I need to ask Deborah because the information is so valuable. I don't know what to, so with right now it's just sitting in Facebook and I'm thinking I probably have to put it in YouTube and make a realtor channel.
Are you working with Deborah Bird?
I'm not, I'm pulling information out of her. I get nuggets of information from her, but I'm probably going to end up going in that direction because I love being a loan officer and I love doing loan officer stuff and I love talking. It's funny because I was telling somebody recently that I took broadcast journalism in high school and college just as I needed something to fill the time and how useful that those skills are now doing this. But anyway, the social media part of it, the intros, the outros, the cool graphics, it's not my strength. I'm a great loan officer. I'm not a media person. So I'm probably going to end up going in the direction to hire Deborah to help me figure out what to do with all these videos because there's really, really good stuff in there.
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, you've got, not only do you have a couple months worth of content, and I'm sure you're going to recruit a lot of realtors out of it, but then you've got a lot of micro content within that. And let's face it, it's all around the topic of get more listings and all around the topic of CMA a day, so if you're a loan officer, a really high value activity that will literally make your career is doing a total cost analysis every day. And if you're a real estate agent, a really high value activity that will make your career is doing a CMA a day. And Tom Ferry actually recommends to do like 3 and 4 CMA a day. So 1 CMA a day is not a crazy ask if you want to get listings, so cool. So guys, this is live in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. If you have questions, put them down below. If you like what you're hearing, it looks like we have Alec Hansen listening in on this. So what's up, Alec? And we've got Yvonne, social media badass, watch it in. Or is it Ivan? How do you pronounce IVAN? Is it Ivan or?
Yeah, Ivan.
Ivan, what's up, Ivan? I know who you are. I don't know I know I haven't interviewed you, but I always watch you on social media and you kill it. I know Deborah Bird is going to love hearing everything that you said. So have you recruited any agents? Have you got any new loans out of this yet or new agents so far? Where are you at from a result standpoint?
So I've taken Deborah's advice and offered to do listings to go when they're doing their CMAs, I can do their move up analysis for them. So I have done a couple of those and I'll make sure you have those links so that they can see what those look like, which has really been, I haven't gotten any loans from them yet, but developing relationships with
Are you
realtors.
what, 2 weeks into this?
That's what I was going to say. This is week 4. And so I imagine that I can't imagine by the end of it, I won't. I've made quite a name for myself in the Keller Williams ecosystem, which is kind of exciting. And now the Berkshire Hathaway ecosystem, which is kind of exciting. So I'm sure that'll the feedback from the agents has been exciting. I have one agent who is actually in my office and someone I'm already doing business with. He told me that he literally watched Jimmy's video again, wrote down everything he said to do, followed his scripting exactly. And I actually need to get him on a panel, but when I spoke to him, he had done about, I think he was on like 7 or 8 TCAs and he's a newer agent. So he doesn't have a whole database of clients to go back and talk to. But he said the first time he did one, it took like 2 hours. The second one he did, it took about an hour. Now he's banging them out in about half an hour, 20 minutes. Another agent told me that Keller Williams has a golden letter that they're sending out. So she's kind of mixing the two where she's doing this video along with this letter and kind of reaching out to people on both, like through mail and through video, which is exciting. I have another client. Actually, I take that back. I do have a lead. I have a realtor who did a TCA for his client, and then the client is going to refinance. So he's introduced that client to me for actually a refinance. So those are like the 3 really big stories. A lot of people are telling me this is great. Thank you so much for putting this together. They're looking forward. And I'm noticing that I get more and more people on the calls as the weeks go on.
Love it. Are you going to be at this Tuesday's leadership call with Jeremy on Tuesday tomorrow?
Yes,
So
I am.
let's make it a topic to like, okay, how do you turn all this realtor value, realtor conversations into realtor referrals and business? Let's make sure we do that, because at the end of the day, it's great to have attention, and
Right.
eventually that attention will turn into business. But I do have a feeling that there's a best practice way of doing that.
Yeah,
So
I would love to hear what they have to say about that,
have
especially
you,
Jeremy, because I know realtors are his realtors are his specialty as well.
yeah, and one-on-one, I mean, there's just no one better at, I mean, he's generating, you know, over 100 leads a month, you know, closing over 200 million a year. Most of that's, it's either past clients or it's realtor referrals. So
Yep. And that
let's
is
hear,
exactly my book of business too, realtor referrals and past clients. So I would love to
yeah, let's
blow
hear
it up a little more.
how we can turn that attention into business, and let's keep having this conversation. So one thing, and I don't know if you've created any of this content yet, but I've had a lot of folks that are doing this CMA a day challenge, and some realtors are like, I don't know how to do a CMA, or, oh, that CMA takes me a long time. So I know that there's going to be best practices, you know, like realtors that are really doing the best CMA. And then I've also heard a lot of professionals that are using homebot as their CMA a day. So what are you hearing, the agents that are doing this challenge? How long is it taking them to do a CMA? And then how long is it taking you to do that move up analysis? So you're like, hey, the realtor could go, hey, here's your value. And then you're like, and here's what moving up looks like. How much time is involved in this from your perspective so far?
Well, I will tell you this, a trick that I have learned using homebot is once I know
So wait,
an
you
agent is,
use homebot?
oh yeah, I use homebot.
Okay.
And I've actually just started doing what I'm about to tell you, because all this information is public record. So when I'm able to go into homebot, so a client that I've never talked to before, I put all their information into homebot, and I'm able to prepare, you know, I'm able to find out what mortgage they originally did. A lot of times I can guess on what the interest rate is based on the time that they closed. So I can make educated assumptions about where they are. And I put all this information into homebot. That is how I generate their TCAs, because once I have all the information in, homebot just creates it for me. And then I can go and tweak it. And that has been an amazing
timeout. So homebot is how you're creating your move up TCA.
That's how I'm creating the move
kind of a
ups, yes.
hack where you can see, hey, this is what your house is worth by
Yep.
homebot. Move up, let's just say, is $100,000 more or 150. I've been hearing, you know, again, I think it varies on the market, whether it's 100 or 150, but the move up, call it template, is 150 more, get you an extra bedroom, better school district, move up. And then I've also been hearing people use the assumption, if you know the equity, great, like use their equity. Oh, they have 247,000 in equity. That's the estimate. But if you don't know exactly what the equity is, use the national average, which I think is 188,000 in home equity. This year it went up from, I think, 133 or 155. Or if you know what the average equity is in your market, use that average equity. What are you using for equity?
So what's really nice is that in our MLS, it has the public records attached to it. So the agent is able to send me the information, and just, I get a report and it tells me the mortgage they took out, the date. So I get the mortgage, the loan amount, the date they closed, and sometimes I get an interest rate. But as long as I know the date it closed and the loan amount, I know what the rates were at that time of year. So I can kind of figure it out. So then I'm able to estimate how much equity is in their house. And homebot has been pretty much spot on. So that, coupled with Mortgage Coach, there's no thinking.
You're almost helping the realtor do the CMA, right? I mean, isn't homebot plus Mortgage Coach pretty much a CMA?
Pretty much, because, and then I'll confirm with the agent, because I don't want to just assume, you know, I don't want to overstep. So I'll ask the agent, according to the algorithms that I'm using, the house is worth 800. Is that right? Oh yeah, they've got a pool in the backyard, or this house is updated. So, but the 3 times that I've done this so far, the homebot has been spot on with how much the houses are worth.
So how about this? So really, there's a case to be made that the formula for how a mortgage coach who has homebot, it's mortgage coach plus homebot plus agent opinion equals CMA. So you can really bring this value prop, if you have both mortgage coach and homebot, to agents. And so you're not only holding them accountable, you're actually helping them implement a higher value CMA. So here's my ask for you, because I want to go into wrap up mode. Guys, if there are questions, put them down below. Even if you're watching the recording in our YouTube channel, I'm going to be interviewing Tammie again. Plus, she's doing the TCA Day Challenge every Tuesday at 11. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities to ask her questions. But would you mind sharing me a link that is kind of a CMA with a move up TCA so that we could show that, like I could,
Yes.
I don't know how I'll do it. Maybe I'll make a little micro video. Maybe you and I will jump back on Zoom for 5 minutes, but we'll literally show a loan officer how to do this. And I want to see the email that you deliver to the agent or the email that you deliver to the consumer. So we could just spoon feed people with, hey, there's a lot of ways of doing this, but this is how, Tammie Crainich in Connecticut is doing it. Are you cool with that?
I love that. And I will tell you, the one thing that me as a lender picked up from Jimmy's video is, he's doing these. The first thing that I really captured was they're unsolicited. So if you're bringing value to these clients and to these families using homebot, using mortgage coach, getting an agent opinion, and generating this information using video. I mean, my emails are not long. You'll see that I would much rather just speak it all out, run through the process, and send them right out to the client. And then I know, thank goodness, I know that because of mortgage coach, I'm able to know when they watch the video. I'm able to see how long they watch the video. A lot of the agents are using BombBomb, which BombBomb gives them the same information. So they record their screen. They're, going into the neighborhood exactly the way Jimmy showed them how to do it. And then they're using BombBomb to go back and look at that video. And it tells them the same thing mortgage coach tells us, who looked at it, how long they looked at it. And then they're able to see, like, this person basically raised their hand and said, hi, I'm interested in what you just sent me. And I'm using my TCAs the exact same way.
Yeah. And by the way, I bet that's how a lot of agents are delivering CMAs right now. It's whatever platform or MLS they have recorded with a BombBomb video is their CMA a day. So I am interested in interviewing more agents on exactly what they're doing and how they're delivering CMAs to a consumer. I'm very interested in helping agents get more listings. I think that's, Tammie, that's what I'm going to make the headline of this, is how Tammie Crainich is helping agents get more listings. I mean, that's really what, the CMA Day Challenge is how you're doing it, but the big picture is you're helping agents do that. And then you're building a community. You've gone from no agent community to 150 agents in a Facebook group that are getting weekly content and value from you, from some of the nation's top agents and trainers. You're killing it, man. You're an inspiration to the community, and I love what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys are amazing. And the help and the support is just, I mean, there's nothing like it. You guys are like a secret weapon. Cool.
Well, we don't want to be a secret. We want to turn every loan officer into a mortgage coach. And again, it's this advice movement. We believe that advice always beats price, and giving someone a transaction rate, payment, cash to close, give people advice, give agents advice, show them a move up analysis so that they can get more listings, because consumers will know that, hey, I could sell my home, buy it non-contingent, sell my old home, take that equity and I can either put that equity in the bank and earn X, mortgage coach will tell you, or I could take that equity and reduce my payment, actually recast the payment. There's a
Yep.
lot of folks that can move up and lower their monthly payment, and you're helping people know that.
I'm able to show them a move up option with their equity. I'm able to show them a debt consolidation option with their equity. And then I'm able to just show them what a straight up refinance looks like. So it's really forced me to think outside the box as far as what they can do, what options they have.
Love it. Well, Tammie, you're awesome. Everybody
Thank
watching
you.
this, if you got value from this, give it a like, give it a love, whatever platform you're watching it in. I can't wait for the conversation tomorrow at 11 with Jeremy Forcier. And let's keep it rocking. And if you could forward me that move up total cost analysis and a sample of your mortgage coach plus homebot. Sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Have an awesome day, everybody. Oh, and remember, guys, go to winbynoon.com/TCA and get yourself some wall posters. They'll help you close more loans.
Shout out to Todd. Love him.
Yeah, Todd's awesome. Take care, everybody.